Hello, how are you? This is Jilly Bling, and I love this project. Some projects I like, and oh yeah, that's okay. Other projects looks like, that's a good one. But this one, it's just singing my name. I love this. And I have to admit, the Wild Wheat color, right when it came out, I'm like, oh no. But then I thought, well, it kind of goes well with gold. Yeah, it does. But maybe it's the designer paper. I don't know, but something about this project. I am just loving this project. So we will be using Everyday Details bundle. And when I bought the bundle, it was primarily for the dies, because the dies are great for everyday card making. But then I looked at the stamp set, and you know, when you buy the stamp set and the dies together, upon first release, you get 10% discount. So I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of cute, okay. But I found that these images are everyday, and you can use them for any occasion. Some of the stamp sets are very stylized, where when you look at it, it's like it has a definite impact. But after you use it once or twice, it's like, that works for some things, but not for everything. This one is great for everyday stuff. The words in it are great. They have like a script or a cursive, and then there's also this like a standard type, you know, like elementary school, what the textbooks were made of. And I love the mixed fonts. Great set. We'll also be using Wonderful Thoughts, and there's 2 stamp sets in the catalog where great words, really good words, but there's a die for each one of these words. For instance, see the hello on here? See how it's cut out? There is a die for every one of the words on here. How convenient is that? And there's 2 sets. So we'll be using Wonderful Thoughts. It has a few extra images on there too. A couple of hearts, flowers. This could be good for just about any of the words, if you didn't want it perfectly to cut around the letters. Elegant Borders. That will be for this little detail. You see it right here in gold? Oh. So I'll be using that die, this die right here. And Stylish Shapes and Everyday Details dies to make this circle. Are you wondering, where did that circle come from? That's putting the 2 of them together, and that's what creates the gold circle. Delicate little touch. Oh, and then also enameled, metallic enamel effects, the gold. And that is for, let me see if I can hold this up close enough. The center of the flower right there, and these little flowers, and also on the inside. Oh, and then Stella for a little splatter. Whew. Okay, let's get started. So over here I have the embossing folder. The embossing folder is kind of hidden in the mini catalog, and you're like, where's your embossing folder on there? It is right here on the Mossy Meadow. And it's just like another little hint, a little understated hint of elegance. So on page 65 in the catalog, it's right here in the corner. And you could see it on the paper, but it's kind of hidden, and it's beautiful. Love that. So here's the embossing folder. We'll use that in just a minute. And then also papers. This paper is in the mini catalog, Poetic Expressions. And that is for this print here. And this paper is the Stippled Roses, softly stippled, and that is for this solid colored wheat paper. Okay, here we go. Let's see what pieces we have here. I kind of have them all laid out. So start with the bottom. I should pull out another one. I've got a few of them cut. And fold it in half. You could use your score tool if you'd like, but it's just a cut in half, or fold in half. And I'll put all the paper cut sizes and photos, close-up photos of everything on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. And then this piece gets folded back. This is a Z fold. Gosh, I've been doing a lot of Z folds lately. But this one with all the layers, it gets a little fancy. Okay, let's see, what do we have? These papers go right into here. What are these? This is for the circle. I could do that. The circle is these two pieces, and I stuck them together with washi tape. So this is Everyday Detail, the one with the big dots, and the one with the little dots is Stylish Shapes. So I'm going to cut that out. That will go right here. What else? This is for the part that moves. I'll just leave that sitting there because it's kind of all ready to roll. This goes right inside here. This piece gets the texture on it from this embossing folder. So find what flower do you like? Can you see how pretty that is? Okay, so that's gonna go here. Hold it down. And then these papers. That's gonna go on there. This is for stamping the vase. That's for words. Oh, and there's a little extra detail. I'll get to this here in just a minute. Let me stick down these. That would be a good place to start. That's pretty too. So the colors I'm using are Wild Wheat, Orchid Opulence. Yeah, I don't know what possessed me to do this. I love it, but a little crazy. Okay, that part is done. And this, because it's so textured, normally I would do liquid glue, but Stamp and Seal is really sticky. Maybe I'll do an extra pass right through the middle. And that should hold it in place. And get this on the middle panel. And when it comes to assembling the card, I do have one tip. So don't get ahead of me and assemble quite yet. Because we have to make sure that it will fit into the envelope. And one thing is, yep, it fits in the envelope, but when you open it up, it's like it doesn't want to open flat, and I'm kind of pulling it. And then this is kind of bowing up, but that's just how it is. Sometimes things don't go perfect, but there's a reason that they have to be like that. So you can mail it, so you can give it out. Okay, and printed paper, that's pretty too. That's a little bit calmer. This Wild Wheat color. I'm becoming a fan, gotta tell ya. And this, there's flowers on here, and it is directional. These flowers are looking upward. Okay, look at us, got that done. Woohoo! Okay, so let's work on this top movement piece. All your pieces stay in place. And I'm going to score this every 3 inches. I don't think I could fold that by hand. I don't think I'd be successful at that. So at 3 and 6. 3, 6. And there it is. Glue on me somehow. Okay, let's decorate these pieces. That I'm going to leave the white off until I stamp it. Because, my luck, I might do a whoops. It's just better to stamp all on its own. And this piece. Okay, so tell me if you do this. If you have a solid color paper, like the Orchid Opulence, you pick it up from your pile because you conveniently already cut it. Do you automatically flip it over to put adhesive on it? Are you saying, what? So I'm going to tell you this, and then you're going to be like, yeah, I do that. Okay, so see this piece of Orchid Opulence right here? I'm going to take this paper, and usually I find myself flipping it over, but both sides are the same. We're not stamping on it. Why does that happen? I don't know. Okay, so all three panels get Orchid Opulence. The middle panel, right here, will get the designer paper. See, this is going together pretty quick, huh? With flowers going up. Okay, so all we have left is, let's see what we have. This is for the vase. Let's stamp the vase in Memento. Is that going to fit? It's too narrow. Do you have white scraps everywhere? Pretty. Oh, and while I'm at it, let me get the one paper that's going to fit in here and stamp at the bottom. Because see how I have the little flowers? Just a couple. The more I stamp, the more I have to color. I had to keep that in mind. But before I put that stamp too far away, I'm going to pull out my Stays On. And are you wondering, what are you doing with that? I'll show you. Hold on. Oop, running low. That could get refilled. I'm going to stamp the bottom of the vase in Stays On and put it on little scrap pieces of the gold paper. I'll show you why and what that's all about. So on the vase, see that gold right here? Just a little hint, just to make it a little fancy. Okay, this has to be colored. Let's do the gold so I have a scrap. So this one is done. This one is for that big border, the elegant border. Oh, I had one done. Okay. So the elegant border, I'm gonna put it on here, kind of get it centered. And this bottom part is gonna tuck underneath the card. So I just want to make sure to preserve the top part. Okay, I'm going to run that through. And here it is. Okay, so that's going to go. I'll trim it up just a little bit. That'll go right there. This. So to get the gold bottom, here's a scrap, and it doesn't take much. So I'm going to put this in. That might be too small. Let me give it a try. And I want just the bottom and Stays On. might work. It worked. Vase bottom. Success. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry. I like the smell it stays on. Oh, we had to do that hello. Here's hello. That could go into memento. Okay. And then, where's that little die? Right here. Look how perfectly that cuts out hello. Okay. There's that. And I'm going to cut this out and color, a little bit of coloring. Okay, so the colors, I'll have you know, Tony picked out these colors we're going to use for the pot. Well, I picked out the pot color, Orchid Opulence, but he picked out, because you know how he likes orange, he picked out the Poppy Parade and the Blackberry Bliss. Because it's kind of challenging to pick out colors to go with these bold colors. Okay, so I'm going to go around the outside edge for a shadow. Because I'm going to cover that up with the gold piece, I could color right into there. Okay, Orchid, dark, Orchid light to fill it in. And I'm going to do the inside of the pot with wild wheat, kind of pretending like it's the gold, because there's gold on the bottom. There's gold accents all over on this card. So this is, I'm offering free card kits. So if you get the bundle through me on or before January 22nd, I would love to send you the card kits. So you don't have to do any of the paper cutting or scoring. Everything that I can do on the project is done and in your little kit except for stamping. But if you get the bundle, you can easily stamp. And I'll put all the details in the description of the video. Let me make these sides a little darker. Okay. Then those colors are done. Wild Wheat is for the inside of the pot, just a hint. Because it's so shadowed, you can hardly see, but it should be some color. And Mossy Meadow. And that is for all the leaves. So this is Mossy Meadow Light. Where's another leaf? Leaf, leaf. Then we have to do that inside of the card too. Because I already cut it out, I'm holding down the other pieces just because sometimes my marker, it hits it and it's like, oh. I have a mistake and I really didn't even do a color outside the lines mistake. Leaves and leaves. Okay, so that's mossy light. I'm going to take mossy dark and just do right down the center. And then on the big leaves, I'll do a little bit extra. And leaves on here. So light, light. So what colors would you color the flowers? It was not a debate, but last night we were trying to figure out what color are good colors for those flowers. I did want to do like pastels. The card doesn't call for pastels. I wouldn't have done the Blackberry Bliss, but Tony says, what about like a deep, rich purple? And it looks good. I think yellow would clash with the wild wheat color. I have my little color chart. We were looking at that, trying to figure out what's good colors. So put in the comments what colors you would do. And there's 3 opportunities for color. There is, of course, the leaves, because the card has the mossy meadow. That's mossy meadow, okay. But there's the big one, these little ones, and these tiny itty bitty ones. So the medium-sized ones are Blackberry Bliss, and the big one is Poppy Parade. Still have to put that gold vase bottom on. That's like the icing on the cake. Okay, we're getting there. What is that little piece? Oh, that's one of the tiny itty bitty flowers. That one I'm going to do with, I'm pretending like it's baby's breath. So I'm going to do it in boho light and then wash it out with the color lifter to make it look really soft pastel white. Pastel blue, but real light. Few more. Okay, and then Blackberry Bliss. I like Blackberry Bliss in general. I like coloring with the blends, but using the ink, there's something about that ink. I get it everywhere, no matter how hard I try not to. It just, I don't know what it is. Kind of cherry cobbler in red too. Okay, so that's done. We did the green. So this is all that's left. Poppy Parade Light for this big flower. That's like the star of the show, that flower. Okay, so I've done 3. Oh, I should show you the other 2 using this, this bundle. I'll show you after I color this flower. They're really fun. They're all kind of fancy though. Poppy, poppy. Okay, we're getting there. I like to do, when coloring with the blends, I like to do the light. Well, usually I do the dark first. This time, I'm not blending too much. Like, on the pot, I did the dark first, and then used the light to do the blending. That's what's good about the blends, is no matter which way you do it, it's not wrong. Oop, I went outside the line there. Don't tell anyone. Oh, we had to do Stella. So Stella, usually people just kind of color with it like it's a marker. We're gonna splatter with it. Kind of messy. These 2 colors, Poppy Parade Light and Poppy Parade Dark, are very similar. I wish there was a little bit more contrast. I could put cherry in there. Okay, and just a little dot of boho light, and then when I do the color lifter, it will kind of spread the ink, the pigment, throughout the rest of the flower. Okay, so you ready to do the splatter? Let's do splatter. So I have a different paper. So the 2 white papers get splattered. So I'm going to take Stella, and on the side it says push, and I'm going to give it just a little push to get the material, the product down here into the chamber, which will make its way out to the brush. But once it's in the brush, you don't want to do it too hard. There's been times where I've done it really hard and I get a big blob. It's like, well, there goes all my Stella. And just kind of hit it. Give it a little more of a squeeze. And I'll make sure in the pictures on my blog you could see it. Oh, there we go. Like I got some good dots down there. A little bit more up here. And it takes a minute to dry. Oh, there we go. Oh, party's on. Okay, it's happening. Can you see the, yeah, you can see the sparkle on there. So it's going to take just a minute to dry. And I had to do that before I put it on here. Otherwise I'd have splatter. Oh, splatter on the whole thing might be pretty though. Okay, so let's just let this dry. And I could take the heat tool to it, but sometimes that kind of warps the paper. Okay, so we have all of our elements, except this piece here, I had to trim. So I'm going to start out by putting a piece of right on there, and then setting this in place. And I'm trying to capture this kind of leaf and that leaf. So get it centered right about there. So now that it's on there, does that help? No, it's easier for you to see it that way. I'm going to trim it underneath and then preserve this leaf. Then from here it just gets, it doesn't matter what's going on down underneath there because you don't see it. Okay, that's good. And when you look at the pictures, you'll see it close up. Okay, there it is. Here, I could put it like that. There you go. Okay. So let's put this piece in. I'm still letting those dry a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to start out by putting this top piece on here. And then after that, I'll put glue on here, have it all closed up. But for now, I'm going to put glue right underneath this bit of mossy. I'm going to use liquid glue. So from here, oh, that one, it needs a pin. Close it up so it doesn't get worse. Okay, so be a little bit heavy through here. Get right up on the edges, because this kind of holds the whole card together. Okay, and then set it right in place, right about there. And then I have it laying out just because, see how it's kind of drifting downward? At this point, because it's a liquid glue, I can move it up. So this is parallel with the edges of the card. Just let that dry a little bit. I should put some under the foil. The elegant borders. Okay. Now that's had a second to dry. I'm going to put glue all over the back of this last panel. So this is, not that it's tricky, but I have a tip for putting this piece on. Glue everywhere. Okay, so I'm folding it all up. See how it's all folded up? And now because we want the card to fit into an envelope, set it down right there. So that's the tip. If you would have attached that bottom panel when the card was all the way open, your card wouldn't close, which is a problem. You need it to close. Okay, dry. Let's see how these are doing. A little sparkle. But I know. Glue on here. It doesn't have to be glue on the back of the white. Yeah. I like that big splotch there. that big splotch, maybe right down here, it will be seen. Okay, then this is going to go about here. Not quite sure where yet, but I know the vase. I'll put it on with, oh, we didn't do our little gold piece. Okay, this right here. Remember how we did that? So I'm going to cut this out. Because it's dried. Doing it in Memento, I don't know how long it would take to dry. Doing it in Stays On, it's probably dry in less than a minute. Tiny little thing, but it makes all the difference. So that's going to go right onto here. It's kind of like paper piecing. And Bo is over on the couch snoring. Okay, the vase is done, so now it's time to stick it on. So at this point I'm going to do just one dimensional on the back of the vase, the bottom of the vase. Put it right where I want it. Right about there. And I'll put the words on. Glue on this half dimensional, just a portion of a dimensional on the H. Hopefully that won't show. It's just a half a dimensional. And then this is going to go on the Orchid Opulence vase. Cut it straight. Okay, so now for the circle. Okay, so it's got glue on it. And this one I had kind of up over the edge, a little bit showing here. So now you know why I put on just the one dimensional. Right there, that's where it's going to go. Okay, oh, I got sparkle, glue. So next is more dimensionals on the flowers, and then pearlized enamel effects. And a big dimensional. Okay, there. And this stuff, have you worked with this stuff? It's very, very fun. So I'm going to put kind of a big blob right here. Give it a squeeze. I'm maybe just hovering a 16-inch over the paper. Touch down, and it pulls up, and it's like a big old peak. And I'm just going to leave that, and it'll turn into more of a pearl looking thing. And without squeezing it much more, and I know that the product is right there in the tip, I'm just going to touch. Maybe I gave it a little bit of a squeeze. And I'll make sure to take good pictures of that. So then, this piece, I had to put it in. Look how sparkly that is. Yeah. Okay, I had to be careful not to mess up the little drops. Okay, glue it here. And then I'll put the little drops on it here. So, right here, And I know that these might be smushed in the card, so I'm going to purposely try not to do them too big. Nope, not moving. These over here. You can see the flower center. Okay, so that is it. That's everything on the card. That's it. Have to dry. So what do you think? Thanks for taking a little bit of time to watch it. And if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.